Constructive Feedback 101. I am going to talk to you guys about how we're going to run our design crits and provide constructive feedback to each other and to ourselves. We want to be kind. But we also want to give really good feedback. It's important that we say things and share ideas that allow us to forward those iteration cycles. So I would like to introduce you to my favorite brain concept, which is the hamburger. And you may be familiar with this as a food device, but it is also a device for giving constructive feedback. Basically, what you have is a delicious bun that is a compliment, a very positive thing to say about somebody's project. You've got some meat on the inside, which might be vegetarian. I'm vegetarian, so this might be like a bean patty, but like a good one. And anyway, I think I'm hungry. But you're gonna get into some constructive feedback in the middle. So you're gonna tell somebody, maybe ask questions about what is or isn't working with the design, what they could do with it next, what they've learned from it, and just kind of like sit with that for a little while to see where you can take an idea next in its iteration cycle. And then, of course, a hamburger would not be complete without a delicious bun on the other side. So together you have a sandwich of lovely compliments with some tasty meat or vegetarian option alternative on the inside. So basically what that can look like in the case of my little example here is starting out by saying something like, that's a really minimal design. I like how you used a small amount of material to have a lot of function. That seems like that could have a cost saving if you were to manufacture this. Now, obviously, we know that this is just a prototype. This is not the final thing. I'm just using it as a prop. My constructive vegetarian meatiness on the middle is going to be things like, what did you learn about the material properties of the popsicle stick, or the material that you're using, and what are its shortcomings? So then I can talk about, oh yeah, like there were some stress fractures, maybe a different material is where I want to take this next as I iterate my design cycle. I might also say things like, what are other areas and functionalities that this very slim keychain style phone stand could have. And maybe, in the time of COVID, it could also be something like a way to open doors without touching them, or I don't know. I mean, something, right? Like there might be another function that's almost here that if we just kind of open up our brains, we might be able to invite that in, even if it doesn't make it into the final design stage. There might be another function. So again, thinking about things like accessibility, who is this for? How are we messaging, right? So in my Tinkercad model, I have Black Lives Matter that's embossed in the keychain. There's always an opportunity for branding or to get a message out there. And finally, my delicious top bun, or bottom bun, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm going from the bottom up, I think, is going to be to say something like, so cool that you were able to do that really quickly, and have something that actually works, because I'm using it like right now. I mean, I can use my prototype. I have a functional prototype. I could also say something like, super cool that you went from cardboard and you didn't get totally sad that it didn't work in cardboard, that you knew to try a different material, but almost the exact same design, right? So the willingness to like stick it out, that's a positive thing that you can say. And yeah, I mean, you can kind of take that wherever you want, but the point is, we want to provide constructive feedback. So many of you, listen to me, so many of you are going to end up in design crits in your future. So when you're in college, you might be doing whip arounds with, in architecture classes and design classes, art classes, whatever it might be, engineering. you're going to need to share feedback with one another. So getting more comfortable with things that you can say. And again, like, it doesn't have to feel so scary. You can talk about things like, oh, what materials did you choose to use? And do you think that that was the best selection for the function that you're asking your object to do? These are the things that we can get to an interesting place. What does the fabrication look like of your piece, and is it practical? If you have to 3D print your design, are you going to be able to mass produce something? Probably not. But a 3D print and a CAD model might allow you to create a mold for injection molding, and then you might be able to mass produce something. Now we're getting way ahead of ourselves with fabrication techniques, but everything starts with a prototype. Whether that's one that works or doesn't is just where we start. It's this feedback that we provide ourselves and each other that's going to push our designs to the next level. It's also going to allow us to invite feedback from people who have different abilities and perspectives and backgrounds than ourselves. These are all things that are part of that ideation cycle. Okay, so get that hamburger going, and good luck designing.